Facebook and Instagram, I believe, are like one of the top pioneers in the social media space. They are, now TikTok is growing up way at a faster speed, right behind them. But Facebook and Instagram have been around for so long. Their backend is sophisticated, but not too much where, the average Joe couldn't figure it out. It is very user friendly if you have the education on what you're even looking at back there. But most importantly, these apps are where our clients and customers live all day, every day. We keep our phones in our hands. We are on social media multiple times a day, spending countless hours on here. And so, the traditional platforms such as like Google, a lot of people are like, well, why not Google ads or whatever? Believe me, we run Google ads too, but it's for a specific reason. If you are in someone's, like, if they're searching specific keywords already on Google in that local area, very specific, then you may have the opportunity to pop up. On Instagram and on Facebook, it's different. So you're getting in front of people based on their shopping behaviors, based on their interests, based on what content they are consuming and what they're buying right now off social media. So you're capturing them while they're in the moment versus, hoping to be searched for that exact keyword, which most of the time isn't what's going to happen on Instagram.
You're listening to the Black to Business Podcast, an educational podcast providing Black entrepreneurs with the tools and resources to start and grow their businesses. We chat with vetted Black entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and business owners as they provide tips and resources to help take your business to the next level. I'm your host, Monique T. Marshall. Hey cousin, and welcome back. So as a business owner, whether you're new to the business or you've been in the game for quite some time, one thing's for sure is that you're always trying to think of ways to scale, ways to make money. In today's digital age, social media is a great way for you to reach millions of people and convert them into paying customers. One effective way to take advantage of the power of social media is through social media ads. By running ads on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram, you can reach a specific audience based on their location, interests, and behaviors. I say, as a business owner, regardless of how you may personally feel about social media, if you can't beat them, join them, especially if it's going to benefit your business. As a business owner, running social media ads allows you to promote your products to those most likely interested in them. Social media ads are also budget friendly compared to other forms of advertising, especially when you target a specific audience. Now, you might already be running ads, but you aren't getting the results that you want, or maybe you're new to social media advertising. Either way, we've got you covered. On today's episode, Lorell Lane will be sharing how to run Facebook ads and Instagram ads to generate sales like a pro. Lorell Lane is the co-founder of the Social Sales Labs. She teaches entrepreneurs how to launch profitable, game-changing Facebook and Instagram ads. During our conversation today, we're going to cover why businesses should run ads, no matter what stage you're in, how social media ads can benefit your business, and the key steps for setting up your ads. We're also going to talk about the importance of funnels and strategies and some of the common mistakes people make when they are running ads. And I love that she's going to share some of the ways that ads can lead to financial freedom. So let's dive in. Lorell, welcome to the Black to Business podcast. I am excited to have you here. So welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So before we dive in, I always like to ask my guests if you could just introduce yourself to my audience, tell them a little bit about you. How did you get where you are today? And what is it that you do in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Lorell Lane, and I am the co-founder of the Social Sales Lab. And what we do is we provide entrepreneurs and just busy business owners, sales professionals. We provide them with a blueprint on how they can grow their business and grow their sales with automation, specifically using social media ads. So when I first got into this business, it was because I come from the ad world. I worked in corporate America and TV for about 8 years, and I learned so much working in the television advertising space that I eventually wanted to start my own business. And after I had my daughter, and I was on maternity leave and I had to return back to work, and I became so depressed. Like, postpartum is real, y'all. Anybody listening to this? You probably know. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not leaving her at home you know, well, I have to, go back to work and see her on evenings and weekends. And so I was like, I need to start something. I don't know what, but I need to start something. And so my husband at the time had his business, his shipping company, and he was running a lot of ads and he taught me what he was doing. And I was like, you know what? We can do this. And so I ended up leaving and picking up some of my clients, running their ads, seeing their growth, and eventually ended up turning that into an online program.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I know a lot of people can relate to that. So thank you for sharing your journey. Um,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's dive into today's topic. Your expertise is, of course, as you mentioned, in helping people grow their finances, their revenue with ads. So we're going to
Yeah.
talk about mastering Facebook and Instagram ads to do so.
Okay.
So I think it's always important to understand like the basis of why social media ads over traditional ads. So
Okay.
why would you say social media over traditional ads?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is so funny because when I came from TV, I
Mm-hmm.
actually was such like, involved in the world of television. Like I'm talking the 30-second and 1 minute commercials that you see. I mean, from, your average shows to the Super Bowl. That was my whole world for 8 years. And it's such a difference because you're paying to be on television one time, and that's very expensive. So like I mean, I worked in one of the top markets in New York City, so that can also make a difference. But I'm talking like $10,000 to get you to run your commercial one time. And
Wow.
so that's really for the Fortune 500 companies that were my clients, the big dogs, we're rolling with the big boys. So when
Mm-hmm.
it came to, the small business arena, I never knew that we could have that same style, that same impact, but on social media for $10 a day.
Right.
And it's essentially a commercial. That's the difference. On television, traditional media, it's a production and it's being shown to to millions of people nationally, but on social media it's being shown to millions of people as well, but on
Mm-hmm.
such a targeted level and on such a platform that you're reaching people on their phones all day. I mean, the return on investment is light years ahead of what television was.
I can definitely see that. And people, because I think in business in general, people get, they get discouraged because I don't have the budget, which we're going to talk about as well,
Mhm.
to do these things like this company. And like you said, like small businesses is so different now, of course, too.
Yep.
So I love that. So let's talk about why businesses should be running ads. Like, what are the benefits of running ads?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always use the metaphor of like pretend we're on a highway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go someplace that you already know is about an hour out. So you're driving and then you see the express lane and you're like, okay, I could keep going. This GPS says with this traffic, it's going to take me about 2 hours. But I know, with the express lane, not only could I get there, in the hour, maybe I could even get there faster and it'll be a
Yeah.
lot easier and less stressful for me. And yeah, I got to pay for a few tolls to do that, but I'm going to be passing everybody on that highway. And then you get on the express lane and you're like, man, that highway's thick. It's jam packed. It has all this traffic. And so you had to pay a little bit more, but you got to your destination a lot faster. In fact, you probably got there early. And so that's how I look at running ads. Every business, small, medium, large, whatever, even a new business needs to consider running social media ads if they're looking to skip all the hustle and the struggle and like really just get straight to the point. I want to get my message in front of my exact ideal target audience at the time that they're looking. And I'll pay for that because I know it's going to help me close more sales faster.
Yeah, I love that you said closing more sales faster because I think when it comes to ads, also people have to understand the importance of, the return, getting a return on your investment. So you kind of mentioned that, closing sales. What are some of the other ways that, or how specifically ads can impact revenue positively?
Yeah, yeah. So, at the end of the day, everyone's looking at the bottom line, the
Mm-hmm.
revenue, getting in the more sales. But if you also put into consideration like the traffic that you're now able to reach millions of more people, even if you're a small business owner and you're only like in your local area or something like that, you're still reaching hundreds of thousands of new people who didn't know about you, who otherwise would have had to maybe you would have had to go knock on doors or pass out flyers or like
Mm-hmm.
cold call or like whatever. But, you're not going to reach the amount of people that you would reach on social media through ads the same way that you would posting organically, unless you're just kind of like hoping to go viral or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone, having your business, your brand being put in front of, that many more people is going to make drastic changes in your business alone, because now you've got a ton of people who know about you and who've seen you before. And so when it comes time to actually offer them to buy or to sign up to work with you, they're 10 times more likely to do that because they're familiar with your brand, and they're going to think about you before your competitors because they've actually seen you already.
Good advice. Yep. And Laura, do you think now every business should be running ads? Is there a specific type of business that should be running social media ads?
So this is a good question, and it's a common question too. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people think, I'm not eligible. Like, I'm not ready for ads, or like, how do I know? And that's how I was in the beginning. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't have $10,000 to put in ads, so why would I do that? I used to do all the things. I mean, I'm talking like post on all these Facebook groups, look on YouTube, see what was the next best thing, DM a bunch of people. Like, the early days were very like humbling, embarrassing because, I thought that was what marketing was and what you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't realize is I was actually exhausting more time, energy, and resources into keeping myself, quote, busy doing these things that really didn't have a formula. There wasn't like an end result of, if I, email 100 people, or if I like, it's a guessing game until you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But with ads, I say, as long as you have established your business to the point that you have something to sell, you are actually offering and selling something. And I'm saying, like, some people just want to run ads for new followers, or like,
Mm-hmm.
to get more whatever. I don't think at that point it makes financial sense to just do it to increase your followers, or like to, whatever, because what's the return on your investment at that point?
Right.
You
Mm.
know? So I definitely think as long as you have something that you are selling that you can actually deliver to people, because you will get traffic and sales, and then you gotta be able to live up to that. Then you should be running ads. Otherwise, you just be okay with taking the slower route, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think mostly all business owners need to be running ads if they're looking to grow their sales or leads.
Perfect. Okay, so let's dive into what area you focus on. So I know you mentioned
Mhm.
and you focus on Facebook and Instagram ads. Why those two specifically?
Yeah. So Facebook and Instagram, I believe, are like one of the top pioneers in the social media space. They are, now TikTok is growing up way, way at a faster speed, right behind them. But Facebook and
Mm-hmm.
Instagram have been around for so long. Their backend is sophisticated, but not too much where, the average Joe couldn't figure it out. It is very user friendly if you have the education on what you're even looking at back there. But most importantly, these apps are where our clients and customers live all day, every day. We keep our phones in our hands. We are on social media multiple times a day, spending countless hours on here. And so, the traditional platforms such as like Google, a lot of people are like, well, why not Google ads or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, we run Google ads too, but it's for a specific reason. If you are in someone's, like, if they're searching specific keywords already on Google in that local area, very specific, then you may have the opportunity to pop up. On Instagram and on Facebook, it's different. So you're getting in front of people based on their shopping behaviors, based on their interests, based on what content they are consuming and what they're buying right now off social media. So you're capturing them while they're in the moment versus, hoping to be searched for that exact keyword, which most of the time isn't what's going to happen on Instagram. So there's many reasons why we chose these platforms, but the
Mm-hmm.
return on investment and like the ability to target very specifically is what really captivated us from the jump.
Makes sense. So now that we have the reasons why businesses should be running ads and on Facebook and Instagram in particular, so say I'm a listener and I want to start setting up these ads. What are some of the first steps that you say I should take?
Yeah. So the first step I would say is to ensure that you're using the right platform. Many people mistake boosting a post as running an ad, and they're actually very different. So
Mm.
yeah, that's a big misconception. So, boosting a post is actually where you're taking it's like a shortcut that Facebook is trying to market to everybody to just spend some money. But what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
is they're getting some post that has been posted on your page and they're saying, "Hey, do you want to boost this? Do you want to put this in front of more eyeballs?" And so the reason why I'm not a fan of boosting is because it rarely actually gets in conversions or sales or leads. It's literally just getting that post to be viewed by more people. So it's almost like paying to be on the explore page. That's not the goal of a real ad. In advertising, paid media, your goal is to get conversions. So when you use the right platform, which is the Facebook Business Manager or what's now known as the Meta Business Suite. You just want to go to business.facebook.com and you want to create your account. And as long as you have your login to your Instagram and Facebook, it'll create your account for you. And that's the real back office. That's where you want to run ads. That's where all these huge companies, Nike, Disney, Dior, Fenty, like this is where they're running their ads from because you have way more features where you can target your audience and be real specific about who you want.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I definitely did not know about the boosting versus ads, so thank you for
Yeah,
that clarity. Yeah.
absolutely.
And so would you say in your experience, which types of ads perform the best? So when I say that, I mean like a video versus a still image or et cetera.
Yeah, yeah. And actually that is a perfect add-on to, what I was just explaining on the back office of Facebook. When I said you have all those features, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
only are you able to target people so specifically, but you're able to come up with a lot of different types of ads. So I would say the most important thing before we even get into like video or image is to also make sure that you're understanding who you want to get in front of based on their behavior patterns. Meaning, they're like, okay, well, I want traffic. A lot of people will say they want traffic. And it's like, yeah, traffic is good. You're going to get that. But what's the end result that you're really looking for? Because you can optimize for that, meaning you can tell Facebook, I want someone who is more than likely to purchase my product or to purchase my service, or I'm looking for a lead specifically. People get so caught up in like, just bring people to my website. But no,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is tracking people based on our behavior patterns. So if they see that every week we're buying something new off the gram, we're in that bucket or we're signing up for a new event or a service or whatever. So you want to make sure that you're actually using the right objective that tells Facebook, find me people who will take this action. So that comes before that. And then when it comes to what type of ad, I definitely always recommend video over image if you had to choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now let's dive into funnels. So can you talk about what funnels are and some tips for mapping out a funnel and kind of automating it?
Yeah, yeah. So I think the first thing that's important to address is like what even is a funnel. A lot of people are confused or they're just unsure. Maybe there's different, definitions out there on the internet of what a funnel is. As far as like me and like my students and stuff, what we always focus on is like just understanding that customer journey. So really being aware of what it takes to close a potential lead or customer and turn them into a paid client or customer. So being a stranger on social media, really mapping out every step. Okay, step one, I need to invite them to come to my page, right? To my website or what have you, or maybe to my calendar page or whatever. Step two is they need to book that call or they need to then add that product to their cart. Just really taking a moment to brainstorm and outline every step that it takes. And you can even go through your own funnel. If I was a lead or if I was a, potential traffic visitor, what are my steps from start to finish? When you map that out, that's what you now have laid out and defined as your funnel. This is what it takes, step 1 through 4, of someone to come in and purchase something or sign up for something. So when you run ads, you're essentially telling this campaign, I want you to take people and send them here. And then once they're here, I want you to guide them to take this action, right? And ads are automating that entire funnel for you because they're driving traffic and pushing them through the right steps every step of the way versus you get all this traffic and then now nobody's converting, which is one of the biggest mistakes people make anyway.
And that was going to be my next question. Like, what are some of the common mistakes you see people make, and why these ads aren't converting? Like,
Yeah.
why?
It's crazy. I could talk about this all day, but one of the biggest mistakes is that one. People can really make such bad business moves by running ads without having their funnel set up. In my opinion, that's why that's like one of the first things I teach, because if you have all this traffic and they're not converting, more than likely you're not sending them in the right direction at the right time. You're just
Mm-hmm.
bring them to me and my website will do it all. And you think because you done paid all this money for your site and you invested and you spent all this time on your brand, and like, no, that's not how it works. People just need to see the right things at the right time at the right place. If somebody sees an ad, let's just say, for example, somebody sees your ad and they
Mm-hmm.
see this offer that you have and they're like, oh, yes. If they took the time to actually click to go to the other side, they're interested. So let's say now you send them to your homepage on your website and there's all these options. They can do this, they can do that, they can check out this, they can go here, look at all your stuff. 88% of people are coming from their mobile device.
Mm-hmm.
So you have about 3 seconds to make sure that they do what they need to do in order for you to convert. And then people are wondering why people are not converting. And it's because, okay, well, they got confused and overwhelmed,
Mm.
instead of going straight to wherever you wanted them to go to. So by not having your funnel in place, sending them directly to where you want them to go, that's the surefire way of like wasting money on ads, because now you captured them and you lost them.
Yeah. Mm. And we do not want that. Yeah.
No, not at all. That's how you waste money.
And speaking of money, people are wondering, okay, so I have all I need. Now it's time to set it up. But I would love for you to give some advice on how to set a budget on what you're going to spend on your ads, and then talk about what if you don't have a budget.
Yeah. So when it comes to Facebook and Instagram ads, one of the most popular questions I get is like, how much do I need to spend,
Mm-hmm.
in order to see results, or what should the budget be? And so it really depends on a few different variables. You want to think about what it is that you're offering. How much is that? How much is what you're offering? Because there's no reason for you to have a budget of, $50 if you're, per whatever, if you're selling something for $30. You're trying to be
Mm-hmm.
profitable. But then if you need leads, you have to consider other variables such as, okay, for every lead I get, how many will I close? Or for every 5 leads or whatever. Once you can figure out your closing rate on your back end, you're like, cool. So I can start off with just a few $100s. I always recommend everybody start with no more than like $5 to $10 a day for the first 2 weeks until they can see the results first. And
Mm-hmm.
you're going to now take an analysis after that and say, all right, how many sales did I get in these first 2 weeks? It may be a low number because you're testing, but at least you didn't go and spend hundreds of dollars in the first week just to find out you were targeting the wrong audience to begin with.
Mm.
So you can definitely start with no more than like 5 to 10 if you're new per day. See where that gets you after a week or two, and then stop, review everything, see which ads the sales came from, and then you can increase your budget after that, knowing that you have a high return on your investment.
Got it. And would you say people should always run ads, or how long should people run ads if it's like, for a certain amount of time, or is it when they have something going on?
I definitely recommend, as much as you want to sell is as often as you want to have your ads on. So, there's some people who are like, I'm only going to be offering this certain times of the year. So yeah, for those people, it makes sense to keep them on for that time period of that, campaign or that season, and then turn them off. But for most business owners, I recommend you always leave them on. Of course, they need to be profitable for that to make
Mm-hmm.
sense. But if you're running them correctly and using like the strategies, you're going to have sales coming in all the time. So unless you're ready to turn that faucet off, I recommend you leave them on, because more and more people every single day will be exposed to your brand, will come in and be nurtured by you and your ads and your content. And then you turn around and they're actually you're getting sales and clients and customers around the clock, which is one of my favorite parts. You wake up to thousands of dollars because people are seeing your ads, consuming that content, buying while you were sleeping, which is one of the best part about advertising, having that automation.
Yes. And one of the things I love about what you're doing is in all of this, sharing with people how this all leads to financial freedom. So if you had
Yes.
to say, like, this leads to financial freedom. How? What would you say?
Oh my gosh, like the automation alone, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be able to reclaim your time so much faster than you would trying to figure it out doing all the things. So ads leads to financial freedom because you are making your life easier. You're doing all of the things that you're already doing for marketing, but you're
Mm-hmm.
automating that. You're putting that up onto the ad world. You're automating it so that you can say, all my marketing and selling is actually being taken care of for me already. I come in and yeah, maybe I am paying $50 a day, but I'm making $150 to $200 per day. All right. And so I'm doing that without having hours spent in content creation, without feeling like I need to reach out to 100 people a day or feeling like I need to go and do the next best thing all the time. You've got a system that works. And so now not only are you growing your sales so predictably and so fast, but you're also being able to enjoy your life. We say financial freedom, but I use freedom in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
There's freedom of, of space. You can work from wherever, or you cannot be working and you can be wherever with your family because your ads got it locked down for you.
Love it. So you got the people hype, and I am all in, and people are like, okay, this sounds like a lot for me to do personally. So I need the social sales lab. Let's talk about how in the work you're doing to help brands launch profitable Facebook and Instagram ads. So talk about your offerings and your process.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I would love to, with the Social Sales Lab, we're an online business school. So we're a coaching program where you enroll and you get instant access to our curriculum, which is in depth. And we're not only going from beginners to, those who are established, but we're also providing you with a ton of education and templates that you can use to just run and get on the fast track. So we offer funnels, for free. We're giving our funnels away in all different industries so that you have that solid foundation first. That's the most
Mm-hmm.
important step. And then you're learning all types of ads, how to target, what the ads should look like, what the best ads would be for your business. I'm talking Instagram Reels or Messenger ads, or you got it all laid out. And then we're there to coach you. So every other week we get on a live call together and I'm actually reviewing your ads and I'm auditing your targeting and I'm looking at your website and I'm making sure that you are on your way to that freedom that you signed up for. So that's the Social Sales Lab. And it's been around for a little over almost 4 years now, actually. And we have over 4,000 students and we've helped 22 of them become millionaires and
Wow.
hundreds earn six figures. So we're super, super honored and proud of all of our students.
I love that. And Lorell, what's your thoughts on the future of ads?
Oh man, this is exciting. So with all the AI coming out and
Uh-huh.
apps and the algorithms, people get so worried and concerned, but I think ads are actually going to be so much more profitable in the future because of the information that they are collecting, that data on what
Mm-hmm.
we're buying, who we're talking to, the content consumption. Like they track us. What people tend to think is they listening. Okay, y'all, not
Mm-hmm.
listening. What they're doing is they're tracking us based on our behavior. So if we buy something, if we, search something, and this is outside of those platforms. I'm talking like, they say the Alexas and the Googles, but it's because we're literally searching things on Google. We're searching things on
Mm-hmm.
other areas that Facebook has access to that data. And they only do that so they can get a better picture of who we are, what we love, what we need, what we're looking for. And just as tailored as your explore pages is exactly, but even more how the ads algorithm is. So I think we're going to be more profitable because we'll be able to target our audience even more specifically.
Mm. And do you foresee like customers wanting more for businesses or maybe like the styles of the ads changing or some of the things in that way as far as like content wise?
That's a good one. I don't know. I think that, our customers, we always need to listen to them, hear
Mm-hmm.
that they're asking for. Maybe the delivery and how we provide what we provide, whatever that is, maybe, changing over the years. But I think that the content definitely is going to be like rapid fire changing all the time. I think that people need to keep up with the trends. They need to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that they have the latest and greatest of what's going on when it comes to the content marketing because the consumption is there. So like think about where people are. If you're so used to doing a regular image ad or this style or whatever, just like Instagram was a photo app, and now they're going to the route of videos.
Right.
Right? Now they're going to the route of just making the purchase easier by allowing customers to buy right from the app, right? Or Messenger. Just listen to your audience and see what it is that they're doing to buy from you the quickest. And I would definitely think about, leaning more in that direction in the future.
Perfect. Well, this has been amazing. So I always want to ask, like, how do you as the founder, CEO, stay organized, managing your business, managing your clients? Like, what are some of your favorite tools and resources to help you do that?
Oh, yeah. So in our company, we use a lot of, tools and softwares, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess not that many actually, if you think about it. But we've been with, for example, we use Monday.com for our task management. We keep all of our tasks in there, all of our projects, the details, and it really helps us stay organized with our, content and our students and our ads. Just kind of like keeping it simple, minimalizing everything and just keeping the numbers at the forefront of like, who are we helping? Who are we reaching and teaching? And, what does that look like? We also use Flowdesk for emails and email automation. They have really pretty emails, and so they're really affordable too. Yeah, what else? Oh man, we use Acuity for our booking calendar. If anyone wants to book a call with us, they can always, use that calendar to get on our schedule and get, a free call, and we talk to them about, what their business goals are and how we can help. And I would say those are the top three.
Okay. And I will definitely mention those in the show notes. And Lorell, what's the best risk that you've taken?
The best risk that I've taken, I'd say, is just leaving corporate and starting. Because had
Mm-hmm.
I not done that, I would have still been there, you know, miserable, trying to figure out my life, trying to get more time with my family, trying to earn more money. And no matter what career you're in, it's very rewarding. It was even a high paying career, it was just still not fulfilling. And knowing that there was a life for me filled with freedom outside of that job, of that career I had, that was the best decision I've ever made. That was a huge risk, but
Mm-hmm.
one of the most rewarding, because my kids wouldn't even have the lifestyle or, I would say the same experience with me as
Mm-hmm.
because of it.
That's so good. And finally, what does it mean to you to be Black in business?
Ooh, it means to be free. It means to be powerful. It means to be paving my own way and showing my children what's possible. Because before this, who knows who they would have had to look to outside of my husband, their dad, and seeing like, what a successful Black man or woman in business looks like. And now they have the framework and they can do whatever it is that they want to do.
I love that. Yes. And I know people are going to want to know how can they connect with you, find you, and support you. So please do share.
Oh, yes, please. Anybody who is interested in learning ads and growing their business, feel free to message me on Instagram. You can find me at Lorell Lane. That's LorelLane. Other than that, we also have our email address, hello@socialsaleslab.com. I'm happy to speak with anybody.
Love it. Loretta, this has been amazing and you taught us so much. And I want to thank you for being on the show, but also thank you for the work that you're doing. So we appreciate you.
Wow, thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure. I'm so honored and grateful. And you guys are doing amazing things. So thank you. Thank you.
So many nuggets in one conversation. I love it. I also like how Lorell mentioned that you can start as small as just investing $5 to $10 per day and increase once you see a return on your investments. But also having a strategy is key. I also liked how she mentioned the importance of understanding your customer journey and what it takes to turn a lead into a paying customer and mapping out your funnel. You can learn more about the resources that Lorell mentioned and how you can connect with her by visiting blacktobusiness.com/130. Thank you so much for listening, and I will chat with you next week.